All right, welcome back to yet another episode of Paul's Collectibles. Thanks for joining me. If you're new to the channel, I appreciate having you. If you're returning to see some more videos, thanks for stopping by once again. 2 thumbs up to you. We are still looking at my 3 3/4 inch Star Wars action figure collection. And in keeping with the theme of the videos recently, we're going to be combining a couple of waves again. These are what I like to refer to as my movie specific waves later on here. As you can see behind me on the top shelf, those are from Solo: A Star Wars Story, or at least the packaging line is. And below those are from Rogue One. And I don't have very many of either of these, as apparently as I've gotten older, I don't have the energy it takes to try and chase them down anymore or track them down. But actually, a lot of it has to do with the fact that I've been spending a lot of time on my vintage collection wave, which is coming up in my next video. That one will be fairly long and fairly comprehensive. So with that, let's take a look at what we got today. Okay, we'll start off with my Rogue One wave. And if you've been following my channel in any fashion for a while, you'll know that I collect Sith and Jedi and clone troopers and stormtroopers. So you may be asking, why do I have a Director Krennic? Well, I'll tell you, first of all, that's just a good looking costume. I'm not gonna lie, I thought he was pretty regal and pretty cool. Second, Ben Mendelsohn, the actor who played him, is kind of one of my favorite actors. I like seeing the movies he's in. He does a variety of different types of characters. But I also think that he did such a good job just crushing it in Rogue One. I mean, what a believable, power-hungry guy he made in this movie. And so consequently, due to all those factors, I decided to go ahead and pick up Ben, otherwise known as Director Krennic. And it's got a little dossier about him. And as you can see, these came with something that you could download on your phone and make your own little movies if you open them up to get the code out of the App Store. And as you can see, the Disney logo is down there. Man, as soon as Disney got a hold of this company, look at the back of these cards now. It's wall-to-wall text. So, all right, I only have 4 from this Rogue One wave. I have 3 stormtroopers. There's 1, and then there's 2 more behind him. They're exactly the same. These are kind of cool because they came with the pauldron as an add-on. So if you wanted to promote him to, I guess that might be sergeant or whatever. I don't know what the orange pauldrons mean. I just know it means they're in charge. And if you wanted to have him get shot up a little bit, you could put the damaged armor on him, which I thought was pretty cool. And there are 4 of those. That's actually one of the better sculpts of stormtroopers I have too. In the past in my collection, you've seen them. They're just, the helmets are terrible, but as the technology's gotten better, these stormtroopers are starting to look really good. That's a good looking sculpt. Next up is a character I'm embarrassed to say I picked up. I'm not a huge Kylo Ren fan. I don't know if it's because I'm older and I remember the mythos of the older movies and whatever, but I just thought that they could have gone in such a different direction with the new villain. But because he's got a lightsaber and I must have seen him in a convenient place to pick him up, I went ahead and grabbed him as well. Even though he's not really technically a Sith, if you ask me, he's more of a whiner. I know I'm going to cause some people some angst on that one. And then frankly, what is one of the coolest characters they have made in these movies? And that's these Death Troopers. What an excellent, awesome concept that was, man. When they showed up on screen in Rogue One, I was hooked on that movie right away. And I would buy 15 of these if I could, even though I'm not opening them and I'm not making an army. They're just cool as heck. They come with all sorts of accessories and all that great stuff. And we're going to look at the back of him simply because we can. That tells you a little bit about the Death Troopers. And man, just an awesome character, an awesome concept. And I was glad to see that they're back in The Mandalorian. Hopefully they'll use them some more. Okay, and this is the Solo: A Star Wars Story wave is what I like to call it. They've gone back to putting the Force Link 2.0 in these, the little chips that make them talk. And it's long about this time where Disney has pretty much taken over the franchise, and we're running into issues where there's not a lot of demand for a lot of the new characters. And I'm sure if you look around online, you can see all those articles and podcasts talking about that. So consequently, the characters that I believe people do want are starting to suffer, and they're getting harder and harder to find, even online, especially at a reasonable price. So I only have 3 of these. First one is the Mimban Stormtrooper with that extra big forehead he has. Really cool character. I like that they added a cape on him just for the fun of it. And he comes with, it looks like a really long rifle as well. And then I liked these guys. They weren't, totally excitingly cool or anything, but I call them the Barbarian Stormtroopers. But this is a range trooper. They wear real fur. They look like wampas if you ask me. Really quick, we'll check out what the back of these cards look like. That shows you how to use the Force Link, and because Disney took over. It's in 18 different languages and there's about 40 paragraphs of legalese. So long story short, don't put it in your mouth. And because they're just so hard to find, and I was actually able to find Luke Skywalker dressed as a Jedi, that I went ahead and picked it up. Like I said, he's from the new movies. I'm not a big fan of the new movies, although I still have them and I still look at them. But at least he looks kind of cool as an older Jedi, kind of a throwback to the old Obi-Wan era back in the day. So I did go ahead and pick him up. And that's the back of his card. All right, once again, like I said, another quick video on 2 small waves in my collection. Next up is the vintage collection video, and that one should be fairly comprehensive. Until then, take care, and I'll see you then.